The SVM has no shortage of effects. On the audio side alone, you'll find the SVM packed with more effects options than any other Pioneer installation mixer. But here's an added bonus: the effects are controlled through this brilliant XY pad touchscreen in the center of the mixer. In fact, not only can we control the audio effects through this touch panel, we can also control the video, or a combination of the two. The touch panel is mission control for the powerful AV effects engines at the heart of the SVM. With the A, AV, and V virtual buttons, we can select audio, video, or AV effects. In the upper left-hand corner, we can also choose from a range of beat-based effects, XY touchpad effects, or even text effects. Just below that are a group of animated virtual buttons where you choose the audio, video, or AV effect you want. If you know your mixers, then you'll know the audio version of most of these industry standard Pioneer effects, from delay and echo through filters and rolls. What's new though is that the SVM gives us visual equivalents like the pan function, the chorus, or the roll. And along the right-hand side of the touch panel are a group of knobs and buttons allowing you to select the channel of your effects, or change the video character of the effect, the effect's time parameter, or the depth of the effect. You can also turn the effect on and off, tap in a tempo, or route the audio effect to your headphones. Audio Effects Queue isn't the only preview, however. You can also see a queued version of your video effects on the large XY pad in the middle of the touch panel. Let's start digging in with a look at the beat effects. If you know your way around mixers, then the first thing you'll notice is the range of effects that are available. What's different now, though, is that through the touch panel, we're able to select any effect with the touch of the screen. And by touching the panel, we can switch instantly from any one effect to any other. Along the bottom of the effects preview window, you'll also find the familiar beat buttons, which let you choose the multiplication factor for your beat-based effects. We can instantly change from 16th notes with the 1/2 setting, to a full beat with the 4/1 setting, all the way to 8 beats with the 32/1 setting, and anywhere in between. Let's set this to 4 beats for the moment. Now, let's move over to the roll setting and set this to 1 beat. If we now go back to the filter beat effect, you'll notice that our multiplication setting for filter has been saved, as has the setting for roll. Saving effects parameters, plus the ability to instantly switch from one effect to another, opens up a whole new world of creative possibilities for cutting-edge DJs. The 12 effects in front of you aren't the limit, however. By dialing the video character knob, I can change the character of the video effect, say from a straight filter effect to an inverted filter, an edge-based filtered blur, or a color cycling blur. That's 4 variations of each of the 12 beat effects. Beat effects are driven by Pioneer's superb BPM sensing function, but if you want to tweak your effects, you can either tap in a BPM, or hold the tap button while turning the time knob and dial in a custom BPM. Now this is great for creating an AV transform scratch. And, as we pointed out earlier, you always have a choice of creating AV effects or just using the effects for the audio or the video. Brilliant.
I really love beat-based effects, but sometimes I want to take more control in the mix. Say I want to use my filter effect to create a breakdown, but I want it to last 32 beats or 64 beats, longer than what I can get from the beat-based effects. Well, that's where Pioneer's touch-based effects on the SVM-1000 are really satisfying. The touch-based effects are controlled from this XY pad here in the middle of the SVM.
Choose an effect, just like you did before. But now you'll notice the effects are labeled with video options. Don't worry, you'll still get the great audio effects alongside. Let's start with the radiation effect. With the brilliant What You See Is What You Effect interface, you can source your radiation rays from whichever part of the screen you touch, shifting the rays in real time. If you press the hold button and then run your finger in a circle around the pad, the SVM remembers the pattern and then it repeats it. To the right, Your time knob has now become a color controller, and you're able to cycle through 10 different colors for the effect. Depth is still set using the level depth knob, but just above both, the video character knob lets me choose from 4 different sub-effects, one for each of the 12 effects already available. This gives me access to 48 different video effects. And as with beat effects, I can instantly change from one effect to another. And as before, I always have the option of creating AV effects, or just audio, or just video.
One of the last holdout arguments for laptop VJing over DVD VJing has been the need to create text on the fly in the club. I used to spend a lot of time in my studio creating text, rendering it out, writing it on DVDs so I could take it into the DVJ system in the club. But now with the SVM's new text generation effects, I've got a lot more time on my hands and that problem is sorted. Let's choose text as an effect and get started.
If we switch over to text, you'll see that instead of 12 effects, we now have 6. But just beneath these are a row of 6 different text messages. By touching an effect and choosing a message, plus setting a beat multiplier, I'm able to instantly put text up on the screen, moving in time to the beat. At the same time, I can change from one effect to another, and from one message to another. But obviously, 6 messages aren't really going to be enough. No worries. By turning the video character button, I'm able to cycle through 10 banks of text messages, from welcome, to a set of countdown numbers, through to some proper club-based directions. Obviously, though, I want to create my own text. Pressing the text edit button sorts it out. Now I'm instantly able to type in my own messages and save them to the bank of my choice. While I'm here, I can also change the font shape, the color, the size, and the font effect. And for longer messages, I can change the justification.
Long text messages? I don't want to key in any long text messages, but that's no problem. All I have to do is plug in a portable USB keyboard or load in a text bank from an SD card.
SD cards aren't just for text bank loading. You can also use them to load photos into the memory of the SVM. Using the JPEG viewer, you can load pictures from an SD card or from a USB drive. To do this, press the JPEG viewer button, load in your card or drive, and press JPEG select. From here, you're able to choose photos, set them to cycle at a speed you select, and assign them to a video channel. Whatever audio is playing on that channel isn't affected.
Obviously, this is great for loading in logos and graphics for your gig, but what it also means is you can hit the club with a camera, take a few photographs, put them on an SD card, and load them straight into the SVM. Once your JPEGs are in the SVM, any of the effects that you were able to apply to video before, you can now apply to your still images or your graphics or your logos. These are great features, but I don't want you to miss the main point of it. What it means is you can walk into the club with a bag full of CDs and a camera and an SD card and no pre-prepared content whatsoever and play an entire AV set. Now, to help you with that, Pioneer has one more feature we want to show you on the SVM, and that's the visualizer.
The visualizer was created for just those moments when you need visuals, but you don't have them. Are you a promoter who has a combination of DJs and DVJs booked for a single night? Well, fire up the visualizer in the JPEG viewer and your problems are solved. Are you a DVJ who plays a combination of DVDs, CDs, and vinyl?
You're not still playing vinyl. Well, no problem. The visualizer, the JPEG viewer, and the text editor are your best friends.
Whether you're on the beat effects page or you've moved over to the touch effects, just press the visualizer on button and you instantly have beat-based generated visual effects. All your normal beat and touch effects are still available and are applied to the generated effect you choose. For example, by choosing the ripple effect in touch effects, we get a flashing light graphic. I can change this by turning up the depth, selecting a sub-effect from the patterns, and running my finger over the screen. Instant abstract club visuals on the fly.